بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه. Our viewers all around the world, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh, and welcome to this program. Inshallah, we will continue with our question and answer session. I have one question that I started touching bases with during our last session, but someone asked the question again in kind of different way about dehydration, fluid depletion in someone's body. And I think the question here is asking at which point should someone shouldn't continue fasting secondary to dehydration. Well, as I started talking about last time, dehydration is something that a fasting person, if not properly, if no proper care taken, is at risk of having, secondary to either being exposed outdoor, secondary to inappropriate hydration during the iftar or during sahur, and or as related to some of the medication that the person is taking. Some of those medication are diuretic, and or even the food. If you will be taking some fiber containing food as we advise, and you do not have adequate hydration, it's likely going to suck it in, and that can expose someone to dehydration. Other conditions can put someone at risk for medical condition, can put someone at risk for having dehydration as well. But at which point someone who is fasting shouldn't continue fasting? I was given the example of one of my brother-in-law. One time we were in Mecca and doing tawaf. He was so exhausted. It was Friday and it was very hot. And he told me, if we continue a little bit, I'm going to break my fast. And I started laughing at him. Well, I was in bad shape myself. Maybe happen to have a little bit more reserve than he does. But in either case, how can someone recognize, beginning with that, he had dehydration? When you happen to feel like you cannot urinate anymore, there is no urine at all. When you feel you start getting dizzy, when you feel like your saliva in itself is kind of gone, your voice changed, you can hardly blink, you cannot recognize people, colors start to change, you have blurred vision, and so on. Those are red signs that someone is getting terribly dehydrated. And if I will go further, I will say the heart will start racing. Like, if you will have to check your vital signs, you will find that your blood pressure will start getting low. You will find that your heart rate is start getting high. And if no proper care is being taken care of, the person will faint, and they can lose some body function. They can have target organ damage such as kidney function and so on. So someone who will have those kind of condition, who will have those kind of clinical pictures, clinical presentation, should break his fast, and Allahu Alam, he can replace it under different circumstances. Again, you can consult with the ulama for better explanation. But medically speaking, someone who is in that situation, if no proper care is being taken care of, including hydration, someone can go into what's medically called hypovolemic shock. And hypovolemic shock is no joke. This is something that is life-threatening, and you don't want to be in that situation, especially in the course of fasting, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made everything easy. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows your intention, and He knows the circumstances in which you happen to break your fast. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The next question that I was asked was about social benefit of fasting. Someone asked, Dr. Musa, you talk about medical benefit of fasting. Is fasting have any social benefit? I would like to start by saying the benefit of fasting, inshallah, is to become muttaqin, to come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I touch base about some medical benefit as in addition, but the primary benefit is to become better servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is to become better person in terms of how we help ourselves, how we worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how we help others in our immediate family, in terms of how we help others in our neighborhood, in our community, in the society overall, in terms of having better character for ourselves. The whole thing is to shape you to be a better person, to be a better Muslim. However, there are some medical benefits of fasting, as I mentioned in previous session. But for the social aspect of fasting, there is a lot of social benefit in fasting. Fasting is one of those opportunities that you and I have to show to others that we have something special. I give you one example. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to be higher in character than any creature of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And part of his tradition is to give gift. He liked to give to everybody. Subhanallah, Allahu Akbar. In one of the narration, just to make my point, the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, someone gave him a shirt, seeing the condition in which he is. I think it's a woman made a shirt that looked nice, and she gave it to him, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And as he went to the house and put it, he came out. Immediately one of the Sahaba say, "Oh ya Rasulullah, how beautiful. This is really nice on you." And the Prophet ﷺ, when he went back home and take it off and put the old one and bring the new one to this Sahabi and say, "Here, you can have it, inshallah." And the Sahabi take it and he was happy. After the Messenger of Allah ﷺ left, the other companion who were in the garden, they talk to the other Sahabi companion and say, "Yeah, so and so, why did you do that? You know the Prophet ﷺ, he is very generous. By saying that he will give it to you." He say to the other companion, "I didn't do that because I like the shirt, but I like that watch touch the Prophet ﷺ body to touch mine too. Maybe I can have mercy because of that." Allahumma salli ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sallam. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to bless the companion and to guide us in the right path. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala put us together with them, with the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam in Jannah, inshallah. So the point I want to make here is the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the most generous. He is the most kind. He has the most perfect character. Yet, when the month of Ramadan comes, he has been reported to have said he is even much more generous. So the month of Ramadan, as you can mention, as you can notice, is one of the months of generosity. Many people give their zakat during the month of Ramadan. This is one month when the poor take care of the rich, take care of the poor. They give them, so socially that has an impact. This is 1 month when people of different community come together as one to have iftar. I remember in the US we used to have that, and everybody is happy. Those who do not have and those who have, they all come together, and this is a moment of joy. So issue like social isolation, issue like depression that many people, especially in the West, are facing, and it has terrible consequences, including losing someone's mind, committing suicide, and so on. The social aspect of Ramadan is it has the tendency to take all this away. And then you add Taraweeh, you add Eid at the end of Ramadan, and all these kind of activities, Qiyam al-Layl, people come all together, worshiping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, crying, asking for his rahmah, and then seeking for his forgiveness. All kind of people from all different social aspects, they all come together, standing shoulder by shoulder, ankle by ankle, just asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive them and shower his rahmah. And I think this, personally, I find that it is absolutely rewarding. It has a lot of impact. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us among those who will be showered by his mercy, who will be forgiven, inshallah. And then we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us paradise, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh.